too. Knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. What's up, Nasties? How you doing on this Thursday afternoon? A little rainy out there. I shouldn't say a little. A lot of rain. It's Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish, Hernan Salas with you here on EST Afternoons. Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. We're also coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. It's a fun day down here. You came to play some Tecmo. We got some good food Jay made for us. Dusty's walking in right now looking at the walls. Yeah, it's good times here at EST headquarters.
Yes.
You're crushing. No one can see it, but an Italian panino.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. A bubbly. Hey, hit us up, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Also, the Nasty Chat. If you're listening, iHeart, TuneIn Radio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just slide on over and slam that thumbs up for us. I know yesterday was a little down for everybody. I think everybody was just a little down, obviously.
Yeah.
For good reason. And the Oilers are sure not making you any happier with the rumors and the reports out there. We'll get to it. How you doing? I like that jacket.
This jacket right here that I'm wearing, it's called Blammo. It's black camo.
Nice. I love it. Can I borrow it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I don't know if you fill it out like me, but...
Oh, God, no. I don't got pecs like that. Hey, big day. CFL action down at Commonwealth Stadium. Your Edmonton Elks taking on the Montreal Alouettes. Going to be a great time. I'm going. Walk's going to be there. Coob was going to go, but forgot his pass.
Oh.
Maddie and Jay are going to have the kickoff show from 6 to 7. Then the post-game show. It'll be great.
Wow.
Can't wait. Week 3, baby. Let's go. We're going to break it all down. The one and only Matthew Iwanyk at 120. We'll be sitting right here to preview Owls, 140 Red Light District. Inside the numbers in the second hour. And then the radio voice of the Montreal Alouettes, Sean Campbell from TSN 690 joins us at 2:20. We're all over this Elks game tonight. But first, Cage, can I just say a few things?
Yes, please.
I need to talk to Stan Bowman and I was going to say Alan Jackson. So that's the country singer. Jeff Jackson. I have to ask them a question. Do they know they're in charge of a Stanley Cup contending team? Do they know that?
You'd think they would.
They have the leverage. I don't think they know that. I truly don't. Why you're giving a third-line player an 8-year deal blows my mind. Listen, not personal. Sounds like Trent Frederic's a great guy, a great teammate. And he could, yes, of course, he's an NHLer. We've seen it. But he's a third-line guy. He's never scored 20 goals, never had more than 40 points. He was one, if not one of the worst players in the playoffs. And I know he was hurt. But if you're playing, sorry, that excuse is out the window. If you're that hurt, don't play. He didn't bring much in the playoffs. Why? But other teams are offering 4 and 7. Oh, you know what you say, Mr. Stan? You say, Trent, bye. You can get any player like Trent Frederic for cheaper. Oh, you know why he played in the playoffs hurt? To save face, because they knew this deal was coming down. And they're like, well, when they asked Stan Bowman, well, why'd you sign him to an 8-year deal? Oh, you know why? Because he played every game in the playoffs. Yeah, but he played like complete crap. There's no reason to sign this guy for an 8-year deal worth $4 million. Oiler fans are pissed. They're sad. They're angry. What happened 2 nights ago? And you're going to start the offseason with this crap? And if, Gager, if there's a no movement, just take me out back and take me out, man. Like, seriously, you're going to give this guy a modified or maybe a no movement? That's going to be 10 on this team. 10. Whether it's modified or not. This is ridiculous, man. Nothing against Trent Frederic. Good for you, Indy. You got a hell of an agent, bro. But an 8-year deal for a third-line guy is beyond ridiculous, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Maybe you don't agree. Maybe you agree. Maybe you like 8-year deals for third-line guys. Sorry, Joaquin.
That we always used to make a joke of when a guy got a deal that was probably a little bit more than he deserved, and we dressed up like the player's agent, and we would look like a bank robber, with a mask on, with guns, going into the negotiating table, going, "He's going to get this, this, and this." And you're like, how did the agent negotiate that deal? Oh yeah, it's. I know that these guys weren't here for some of the previous signed contracts, but they've been here for a lot of the contracts that are now on the books.
Yeah.
And there are far too many of those anchors beside names. And look, we said it yesterday, man. If no movement, who cares? They have to go to these guys and say, would you be willing to move?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to veto your no move clause? And give us a list. Give us a list of teams and go from there.
It's Gager. It's not done. It's not official. But when guys like Saravalli and top dogs insiders that we all trust and are rarely wrong have it, it's happening. It might not be announced this week. Might not even be next week. But it's going to be announced. Now,
how does this get out though? Does the agent say this?
Oh yeah, because
they got to be pissed.
I don't think the agents are pissed. The agents do it because it helps them.
Yeah. Because it increases his value everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a manager, I'm losing my mind right now.
Oh, but it's the thing. Well, he might get 4 and 7 somewhere else. Well, okay, bye then. You don't want to be on a Stanley Cup contender? I'm giving you a 4-year deal. Sure, you want $4 million? I'll eat that because it's a 4-year deal. But you want to be in a Stanley Cup contender? Or you want to be on a mediocre team?
Who signs Trent Frederic to
8 years?
Who signs him for 7 for 4 anywhere else? Who?
What are comparables? Please let me know. I asked Benny. He brought up a good one. Pierre Engvall and the Islanders. 8-year deal. 3.
Oh God!
You don't think they're regretting that? Nick Paul signed too, similar deal, but at least Nick Paul scored 20 twice. I can live with that.
Nick Paul's a if Trent Frederic is as good as Nick Paul, then I kind of could see it. What did Nick Paul sign for?
I think it's 3.1.
Yeah, in the neighborhood of $3 million. Another guy who signed long term for 6 years, Barclay Goodrow.
And bought out. Now he's is he on the Sharks?
Yeah, he's moving on. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Sharks, I think.
Yes, and JT Shark says Hernan needs to get the fact that this signing means Kane is toast. Okay, so what? You're going to give a guy an 8-year deal? Evander Kane is a much better player than Trent Frederic. Much better. It's not even close. Sure, they're going to keep him because of the physicality and all that, but he's not going to produce like Evander Kane.
That's another thing. What do you like? Why do you have to move on from Kane? Is it because you need the money for something else?
To give to Trent Frederic.
I mean, but
I'd rather keep Kane for the last year of his contract than sign a Trent Frederic for 8 years. What are we doing, Oilers management? What are we doing? This guy should be happy with a 4-year deal at 27 years old. Yes, okay. You want to use the excuse he was injured through the playoffs? Outside of what? Well, he played 23 games total, including the one regulars. He played maybe one good game, and you're rewarding him with an 8-year deal? Maybe I'm out to lunch, Joaquin. Maybe I'm out to lunch. But when I saw that come down from reliable sources yesterday, I was pacing in my apartment, man.
Let me I'm tons of things go through my brain at this point. I mean, it doesn't have to travel far, but
it just got that one.
I don't know why this reason is, but back in the day, the decade of darkness and years before Edmonton, you don't want to play in Edmonton, blah, 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 blah. You had to sweeten the pot to stay here, right? Now you have arguably 2 generational talents. One, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, arguably one of the best European players of his generation.
Yeah.
You have one of the greatest facilities in the world to play in. You have a rabid base of fans that you're not playing in front of, blue seat shirt night. There's advantages of playing in Edmonton. Why? It seems like maybe it's agents that are saying, well, you got to sweeten the pot, playing in Edmonton. It's cold there. You know what? If management is saying, oh, we got to sweeten the pot because it's still hard to get guys to come to play in Edmonton, then you don't want those players anyway.
No.
You don't want guys complaining, it's cold out, I'd rather go to the beach, or, not enough of that. It already seems like, and I'm purely speculation, but the fact that they let go, Broberg wanted to go.
Yeah.
But Holloway, I believe, from all accounts, it seemed like this kid wanted to stay. And they were more mad that he would sign an offer sheet and say, well, you don't want to play here, so we're not gonna match at this point. Where's that attitude towards signing guys? Where is that saying, you don't want to be here? This is what we're giving you. We're gonna find guys that want to be here and win Stanley Cups, not give you no moves and more term that you're deserving for. And I don't even know what type. Like, I talked to Louis DeBrusque about Trent Frederic. He said he was great. Like, he's seen him, obviously, watched his son play a lot of years in Boston, and said there's something, like, he liked the way this guy played. I haven't seen it yet. So I just don't know how you can offer this guy of what you've seen over the past few months of his play. It's not warranted.
Listen, if Gager, you nailed it there. Like, why are the Oilers bending over backwards for these guys? Like, you're a Stanley Cup, you're the second best team in the league. Who in the West is going to continue to challenge the Oilers? You can probably name 2-3 teams. The Oilers are it in the West. Why are you overextending it? And I know the cap's going to go up, but a good GM doesn't mean you have to spend to the cap every damn year. Prepare. We talked about Puckpedia yesterday. Look what Florida has. Look what a lot of these teams have in terms of cap space because they're smart. And here we're offering, listen, if Trent Frederic gets 3.8 and it's a 3-year deal, I'll shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Show us what you got. You're 27 when it's done. You'll be hitting 31 years old. Sure. But an 8-year deal? Why? Why do that? And listen, there's speculation. There's a modified no movement. Like, that's ridiculous at this point. That is beyond ridiculous. Because if this doesn't work in year one and it's a modified and you can't move them for 4 years, what are you going to do? Do we not remember Zach Cassian contract? And that was a shorter one. They had to buy, didn't they buy it out or trade him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they paid to trade him to Arizona. A draft pick actually for this year as well.
Think of Louis Eriksson, that deal. How did that turn out? Like, I'm not. And
James
listen,
Neal just came off the books.
Trent Frederic, when I saw him play in Boston, he was a different player. Yes, okay, the injuries hampered him this year. He is a bona fide NHLer, a bona fide bottom six guy. He doesn't kill penalties. He doesn't play on the power play. Okay, is he going to score 20? Highly unlikely at this point in his career. He could maybe have a one-off, but with no special teams on either side, and you're going to play 5-on-5, and he's not a winger for Draisaitl. He's not. He's not skilled enough to play with Draisaitl. He doesn't have the finish. Okay, so that's why this is not a shot at Trent Frederic. He's a good hockey player, and if he shows what he did in Boston, I think he's going to be a great addition. But you can't give him 8 years. And please, baby Jesus, there cannot be a no move. There cannot be an anchor beside his name on Puckpedia, or I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, man. That's I just don't get why they have to keep sweetening the pot.
Yeah, like it's almost like when the Oilers were in the decade of darkness, you had to.
Yeah,
you had to be like, okay, we'll give you whatever you want. Just come play.
Please come.
Why are we bending over backwards for bottom six guys? Do that for Connor.
The only two players that should have no movement clauses on the Edmonton Oilers are Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. And other guys can have modified.
Sure.
But modified 20-team list. That's what I'm offering you. That's to sweeten the deal. That's all you get. Because you put it out there, man. The Oilers are kings of the West. They're the kings of the Western Conference. All other teams are looking at the Oilers, go, how do we get past the Oilers in the playoffs? Regular season schmeezin'. It doesn't matter. Oilers are a different team when it comes to the playoffs, all right? The amount of experience they have, they're not going to be rattled. You have to find a way to play it at that type of level. And they were bullies. They slapped around two teams that I thought that wasn't possible. I thought they could win, but they treated them like little boys, all right? Mm-hmm. You want a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and your best shot of doing it in the Western Conference is here. I mean, go to the East and try to go through Florida, I guess. But
or go to Florida.
Or well, there's no more room. Well, actually, there is. They got tons of cap space. Maybe.
It's just a terrible way to start off the offseason. And again, not personal. Everything we hear about Trent Frederic, he's a great teammate. He's a great guy. Good for him. He's going to cash in. But come on, Stan Bowman, man. Like Jeff Jackson, like you guys are acting like this team needs and has to beg players to come to Edmonton.
One of the things, like I do have to look at this because one of the complaints was when they signed Stan Bowman was the moves that he made while in Chicago. That's the one thing I was like, oh, and I don't really know I know there was one, who's the guy in Vegas now? God, my brain's not working. I'll think of it. But he traded for him, got him back again. Yeah. Like there were some moves that were questionable while he was in Chicago. They can't do that here. Because now, okay, so there was Ken Holland, I don't care. He did exactly what he set out to do. He got the Edmonton Oilers to the Stanley Cup Final. Mm-hmm. Jeff Jackson and Stan Bowman have reaped the benefits of how he's situated the team, I think, up to this point. Mm-hmm. They made some other moves here and managed to get them back on the foundation that Ken Holland. Now it's all on them.
Yeah.
Now it's all on them to get it right. Because I look around the league, and again, don't look on Puckpedia because it'll just make you sad. But I'll do it for you, all right? Other teams are way, way better situated with their cap, where they are, to make their teams better in the offseason and throughout the next year's regular season.
Yeah, and it's frustrating that this team continues to give the player everything, unless they have the best agents out there that just sucker the orders into all these things. I don't know. Like Stan Bowman, Jeff Jackson, you're an agent. Like you're not an agent anymore, buddy. Like stop thinking like one maybe. Like it's mind-boggling. It sounds like it's going to happen. I've said my piece with it. When it happens, and we'll see if there's a NMC attached to it, a nice little anchor. If not, if there isn't, then maybe it's easier to take. But if there is, holy smokes, it's not going to be pretty on EST afternoons that day. I'm just fair warning. Yeah, I mean, Connor's comments today's got people a little worried, but I don't know. I don't think he's going anywhere. But I think Reed said it perfectly. Why don't you just say, like, why do you have to say that? You know, like,
I know.
You do what I mean? I don't think he's going anywhere. But again, these guys are just 2 days away, 2 days after losing the Stanley Cup for the second straight time. So we'll get to some comments from all the orders throughout the show. I mean, it's kind of, you never get a lot. It's just, hey, you know, could have did better, and I want to be here, and the Connor's a big one, and we'll read some of those. But coming up next, Matthew Iwanyk from the Green and Gold Kickoff Show will join us as we tee up Elks and Elves. That's it for Trent Frederic for today. Thank you for coming to my pep talk. We really appreciate it. Hey, keep slamming that thumbs up. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, and on the Nasty Chat. And, of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. Up next, the one and only Matthew Iwanyk.
The The Oilers held their exit meetings this morning. Leon Draisaitl, Trent Frederic, Evan Bouchard, Corey Perry, and Connor McDavid took the stand. McDavid said that he's in no rush to get a deal done just yet with the Oilers, while adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was battling a broken hand throughout the Stanley Cup Final. Staying in Edmonton, the 0-1 Elks have their home opener against the 2-0 Alouettes. Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne preview the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show, which goes live at 6 right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Thunder can win the Larry O'Brien Trophy tonight with a win in Game 6 on the road against the Pacers. Tip-off goes at 6:30. From Calgary, the Stingers challenge the 7-2 Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams with action starting at 7:30. In baseball, the Jays and D-backs are runless in the bottom of the first. There's 2 outs for Toronto. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at bat. Plus, there's 7 other games live, including the Yankees leading the Angels 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Back in E-Town, the Riverhawks and Bells have their series closer. Hawks winning 6-4 yesterday. First pitch is scheduled for 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Tonight at 7 p.m., your Elks host the Alouettes for their home opener. Super Dogs hit the stage at halftime with the Double E Fire Truck making a return. Don't miss it. Tickets start at $20 at goelks.com. Matthew Iwanyk joins us next to preview the action here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Lou Gazdig with us. Where do you come out on a guy like Frederic getting an 8-year type of deal?
The more I think about it, I love this deal just because I love the player. Here's a guy who can play depth minutes for you, hit and fight and chip in offensively. It's a long contract. Most importantly, he wants to be an Oiler till his mid-30s or basically whenever it takes him till the end of his career. I love that stuff.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Just like the boys of summer keep their gear in top shape, you can keep your stuff safe with Sentinel Storage.
Hit a home run with Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to The Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's 1:25. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Lots of Oilers talk still to come, of course, but there's a big game in town tonight. Elks host the Montreal Alouettes. A very good Alouette squad. 2-0 coming into town. It is a short week. I keep saying that, and I'm using it as my fire to select the Elks to win tonight. It's Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish, Hernan Salas, and we're the host of the Green and Gold kickoff show and the postgame show, Matthew Iwanyk. Matthew, how are you?
I'm good. Not as fired up as you, but I'm good.
Yeah,
Last segment, you were very fired up.
I might have lost it. Well, I might have went too far on Trent Frederic, but
I don't think so.
It was more on management than Trent Frederic. It's not
I think
his
you're
fault.
good.
It's not his fault, right?
He's getting what he wants.
Is he ever?
Was I the only NHLer to never get what I wanted?
You should go now. You should have just if they need help goaltending. You could be like, hey, look, I'll help you in that, and they'll sign you to like 5x4.
I'd need to go down to the crossroads and make a deal with the devil to sell my soul to be able to play again. But would I do that? I don't even know if I'd do that. One great year of Gage left.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
You start training and we do a whole like video.
Yeah.
Like
I'd like
a documentary.
I only talk to you guys. Like I just
even game days.
Game days I
like
shove everyone else.
There and you won't
Reed
talk.
will be there. Yeah.
But Reed takes you to the side. You get the one-on-one.
He gets exclusives with me. Driving to the rink.
Stoff loses his mind. And then in the end, Connor McDavid, first player hands the cup to Joaquin Gage.
Yeah. No, I go get it. I go, Connor. I got
to this. You dropped the ball the last 2 years.
You know
I
what?
brought you this one.
Who really won this, Connor?
Well, he might not be here. We won't. I know Maddie had a great rant yesterday about that. Okay, let's switch gears quickly. Let's get to the Edmonton Elks game tonight. A very tough one, very tough schedule for the Edmonton Elks. The weather sucks. You're gonna have to use.
It's getting nicer for
the football weather.
It's football weather.
The rain should be done. I haven't looked outside yet, but Clausen had mid-afternoon. The rain stops, and there might be some sunny breaks during the game. So it's gonna be a little on the chillier side, 15, 16 degrees. But you're not worried about rain. So if you're thinking about going to the game, just wear a nice jacket and you're good to go.
Yeah, go support the green and gold. Maddie, when you look at this matchup, of course, we saw them in week 1. They got week 2 off for the bye week. A very tough opponent coming in. What are some of your keys to an Elks victory tonight?
Well, tune in at 6 o'clock and you'll find out. No,
no, I don't want you to ruin it. So maybe just
no, it's all the same. I know. I think everyone knows where the keys are. Like on offense, it's I know Jay and Reed were discussing it yesterday. You need to get the rushing game going. We saw the offense when they were at their best last year is when you had Rankin and Leak going. Or like they had 3 running backs when 2 of them were going at any given moment. Brown was in there a little bit as well, along with Trey Ford. That was when the offense was at their best.
Yeah.
You also need an offense that has a flow, an offense that could build a rhythm. And going out and I still have to go look a little bit closer at game 1 again. Even when the offense got out there, like the defense was on the field for so long that when the offense got out there, they'd have 2 plays, they'd go off the field, and then they wouldn't see the ball again for a long time. So it wasn't they just didn't even have the time to get the rhythm. So getting Brett Boyko back will be huge, I think. But I think it's establishing that run and just building that flow for an offense. Defensively, it's just being better on second downs. They were great on first downs in week 1. They forced a lot of second and longs, but now it's can you make those you don't need a lot. You just need one more drive. Like, can you go get that second down stop once every so often, especially if it's in second and long, and get the ball back or force a field goal and not give up the touchdown? That's the big thing to see there. And then the other part is kicking. Like when you are in a position to put up points, are you going to get those points? Mm-hmm. Or are you going to leave those points on the table, which hurt them in week 1 as well? So like it is all 3 facets. There's something I think very important to look at with all of them. But those are kind of the keys that you have to look at in this one. And it's, kicking maybe is a little bit more important than defense. Because I do believe the defense will figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if Blanchard's going to figure it out. So I'm more intrigued on that one maybe going into tonight.
With the, I think I heard you talk about the rushing game with Leak and Rankin. Did you, are there 2 different types of running back?
Thunder and Lightning, they call themselves.
Is there a running style that's different?
Well, like I think if Leak's got the more like he is faster, so he's got that more speed, and he's guy
more side to side.
He's going to come up to the outside and break it. Whereas Rankin, he's got his own speed. He can get going too, but he's going to go up the middle more, and he's gonna break that one tackle, and he's going to get a little bit more. So that's where the difference is. That Rankin is maybe a little bit more north south, whereas I guess is that considered north south?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rankin's more like between the tackles.
Yeah, and Leak's right going to the outsides.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got Trey Ford.
Yeah. So what does that offer to keep defenses off their just subtly off their game a little bit? But how
if
good is the Alouettes?
The run they will.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what type of running game suits them best to go up against the Alouettes, or is it just after a few games? Is it too early to kind of tell?
Oh, I think maybe a little early to tell, but I think it's hard for any defense to deal with this team if they can establish it all. Like we saw last year. This isn't just wishful thinking. Going, wow, if you can get Rankin and Leak going, we saw it last year. We saw games where the 2 of them would carry the ball a lot, and they would get their yards. Like Rankin would pull off 70 yards, and Leak would be pulling off 50 yards or something. and it keeps the defense, on edge. And then you add that just the threat of Trey, what he could do with a play breaking down. I don't know how you defend against that. I don't think there's a defensive coordinator or defense is going to be able to defend against that. It's just a matter of, can you execute that? Now, if you can execute on all those levels, I think if you're the Elks, it's probably more Leak going to the outside to beat that defensive line as opposed to going to the middle, because that defensive line of the Elks is very good, and I'll think they'll be able to close those gaps a little bit more. So if there's only one running back that's going to get going tonight, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably more Leak than it is Rankin. But you'd like to see if you get both going, and then you just will have Trey there. I just don't know how you stop that.
How big and how much pressure is on Trey Ford tonight to listen, the win aside, of course you always want to win, but just to show that he can play the position at a high level, because in the first game, I think there was one completion on a drop back. Every good play the Elks made on offense was from a scramble from Trey Ford. How much pressure do you think is on Trey Ford to improve tonight? Be that quarterback that was given a 3-year extension?
I think as much pressure as any other quarterback. I don't think he has more pressure than any other starting quarterback going in.
But it's a little different than Davis Alexander, because Alexander's played last year. He proved that he was really good. This year in 2 games, he's already proven that he's a legit guy, right?
Sure, but Trey has gotten more wins for this franchise than any other quarterback in the last number of years, and they've given him the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's pressure of him losing this job anytime soon. Like, with Mark Killiman at Hervey, they've given him the keys, and we've discussed this through the offseason, that the one thing Trey has to, is good for Trey is that he doesn't have to worry about the quick pull, the quick gone.
Looking over
so that's where it's like, to me, Alexander's proved it. Trey has to go prove a little bit more, and you want to see that development, but also at the same time, I don't think there's more pressure on him than any other starting quarterback in this league, because he should have, if he has extra pressure on him, then he's being treated differently, and he isn't being given that latitude to go see what he can do. So as fans, and media, you're going to want to see some of that development, but I don't think there's that extra pressure. Now, if he has the same game like last week, that's not a good sign. That's not a good start.
Yeah.
But it's also only 2 weeks into a season where we've seen a lot of teams have bad starts, and this is a tough schedule. So,
but that's what I mean. Like, that's the difference, Matty, where I think, let's say they still lose tonight, but he plays really well.
Yeah,
that's different, right?
Sure, but at the same time, like, Davis Alexander had a good start this year, but he took on the Red Blacks defense that I don't think anyone's sitting here saying is the best defense in the Canadian Football League, like we're saying with the Montreal Alouettes, and he beat the Toronto Argonauts, who lost entire defense to Edmonton.
Yeah.
That we're going through. Like, so it's not even like, and look, I love Davis Alexander. I said it last year that if the Elks were not to re-sign Trey Ford, if the alternative was they announced that Davis Alexander was coming here, I would have been fine with that. But again, like, his 2 wins, are they that impressive? Like, I don't know. You got to look at the opponents. BC came out and they were really good. Yeah. That defensive line wreaked havoc on the Elks offensive line. And the Owls have a very good defense. So I don't think he has more pressure than any other starting quarterback per se.
I think Farhan said it a few days ago that the Alouettes right now are the cream of the CFL in the league. Like, they're the top team. What poses the biggest threat from Davis Alexander to the Elks defense? Is it just that this defense hasn't been together long enough, or can they start establishing themselves? Because Dusty talks about it too, and what we've heard all offseason is what they've been able to assemble is could possibly be one of the best defenses in the league that can actually give Trey Ford a little bit more time, that if they can put some points on the board, they can keep it competitive.
Yeah.
So how to beat Davis?
Yeah.
Or like, what's I think it's his receiving core.
No.
I think just he has some incredible weapons, which the Edmonton Elks, with all due respect to their group, which is a pretty good group, but it's not, when no one's going in saying they have the best. You got Austin Mack, who came from the NFL last year. Like, they didn't have him full season last year because he was in the NFL. And you got Tyson Philpott, who's just proven to be
one of the best.
Right.
He might be, if it wasn't for injury last year, he would have been the leading receiver in the Canadian Football League by far. So I think that does help Davis Alexander. I think technically he's just really strong as well with his arm. And right now the guy's a little bit of a winner. Like, he hasn't lost in the Canadian Football League. Now he's got good teams around him, but he's getting it done. So the one thing, like, I haven't seen him off. It'd be interesting to see. I don't know what his legs are like. I know he can move a bit, and he has moved a bit this season. But the Elks have already dealt with that with Nathan Rourke, so I think they're ready for that. But I also I don't put Davis Alexander in the same category as Nathan Rourke.
Okay.
And I think the Edmonton Elks could go in saying, if we played the same way that we did against BC, we'll be able to get the stop against Davis Alexander because Nathan Rourke was quite special. in that first game.
Yeah. it was.
Is that the new running back for the Alouettes not playing tonight? Tice?
Go down a page. Is he on the injured list? Yeah, sure. One game.
That's a big break for the Elks.
Wow, Sean Thomas Arlington had a really good first game.
Yeah, but Tice is a different animal. Wow. I expect Montreal to throw the ball a lot. I'm not a big Thomas Arlington guy. I don't think he's that good.
He's bounced around. He's serviceable.
Yeah.
The question would be like, can they get a sack today? Like they were able to break down the pocket a little bit against BC, but they never got it done. Will they be able to get it done today? Can they force an even second and longer? Or could that be the second down play that causes the punt? That's what it's second downs for the defense. They need to get those done.
Give me one of your biggest concerns for tonight.
For the
Elks. The kicking?
No, well, that's the easy one. But like, I don't want to go into easy because I could also say the offense, just straight up. What if they don't move the ball? What if, like, I guess it's the receiving core.
Yeah.
Are they going to get open? Are they going to put themselves in spots that Trey can go make the play? Because as much as Trey is important, and look, his passes weren't good last game.
No,
he threw the ball and put it in spots where his receivers had to jump up, and they became vulnerable a bit. So Trey's got to be better with his accuracy. But like, why is Curly Gittins only getting so many targets? Why is Julian Grant only in certain targets? Part of that is they're not getting open.
Yeah,
and so.
And the pocket's breaking down, and Trey's got to run for his life.
And he's got to go do something. So it's part of. I guess maybe that's maybe more of the concern. The O-line's healthy.
Yeah.
Brett Boyko's playing. If the O-line is the same as it was in week one, last year that was a good offensive line. But if all of a sudden they're not a good offensive line, I don't care what you do. Your team's going to be crap.
Yeah, it's going to be
not going to go well. Football starts with the offensive line offensively. And so I'm hoping that we see an offensive line that doesn't get destroyed like it did in week one. That maybe is the number one concern.
How are you feeling for the game? Cautiously optimistic?
Yeah, I don't like. I know you're more optimistic. I like where you're coming from.
What?
For the Oilers.
Okay, all right.
Not the Oilers. The Oilers are just like, fire the guys already. Jeff Jackson, step home, and should be gone. It's one of those.
I didn't say that.
Well, you might as well.
I just said wake up.
Yeah, but if they're not, you might as well then just get rid of them.
That's a good point.
No, like, where was I there? Oh, like short week for Montreal. That does matter. They're traveling. That does help the Elks. I'm not expecting a win, but you make it close going in the final 3 minutes. Like I've gone into this season saying I think an 0-3 starts there for the Elks, and then they're still going to go rattle off 10 victories this season. Montreal was never going to be easy. So if they could keep this as a close ball game, I'll be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm expecting a lot better from the Elks, especially their defense. I'm expecting them to lead the way tonight. So
and maybe we get a return touchdown tonight.
Yeah, good stuff. Kickoff show 6 o'clock. You and Jay Milne. What do you got planned?
Correct. Well, we're going to preview Elks Owls. We got our 3 stories of the game. We'll get into the numbers for Play Alberta as well. We'll hear Jay did speak with Jordan Maximico. So we got a couple of clips of that we'll play. We want to hear from you in the nasty chat in the inbox, 780-218-9999, 6 o'clock. We'll get you set.
Hey, did you know the afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino?
Can you please tell me more about the River Cree?
So you can check out their Tap 25 restaurant.
What's that?
Entire menu's 50% off, 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m.
You're joking.
No way.
I'm
dead serious.
River Cree, you say?
Yeah. Got to go out there one night.
Love the River Cree.
I got three pairs of tickets to the Elks game tonight.
2. Oh, you've got Elks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I got Elks tickets. Rebecca at William House.
Do what you need to.
Okay. 3 sets. Text in to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Only text in if you can go. 3 sets of 2. Okay, Gager?
I got it.
Here's your trivia.
I'm already going to be there, though, buddy.
I know. Name the receiver on this year's Elk squad who played with the Alouettes last season.
I know it.
Do you know it?
I know it.
Gager?
Mervin Fernandez.
Swerving Mervin Fernandez.
Ed Hervey.
Text that in if you want to go to the game. I got 3 sets of 2.
Duron Carter.
And I'll email them to you. Oh, don't get me started on that guy. All right, we're back after the break here on EST Afternoons with the Red Light District. Here's Coop Sports Update.
Connor McDavid and company spoke during the Oilers exit meeting today. McDavid said that he's in no rush to signing an extension in Edmonton, adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was fighting through a broken hand during the Stanley Cup Final. From Commonwealth, the Elks go head-to-head against the Alouettes for their home opener. Tune into the Green and Gold kickoff show as Matthew Iwanyk and Jay Milne tee up the action. Coverage starts at 6 right here on EST. On the road, the Thunder and Pacers clash in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. OKC with his first chance to win the championship, up 3-2 in the series. Game starts at 6:30. For the Singers, they meet the Surge in Calgary. Tip-off is at 7:30 with EST's audio streams carrying the entire game. MLB action has 10 games live. It's Toronto down 2-0 at home against Arizona through 2 innings. Elsewhere, we see the Rockies and Nationals tied at 2 in the bottom of the 10th. Meanwhile, Edmonton hosts Bellingham from Remax Field. Riverhawks picking up a 6-4 win last night. Their series closer starts just after 7. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. EST Afternoons rolls on once we get back from break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The EST Hangout.
Can the Oilers get back to the Cup Final next year? Like, it looks pretty good right now.
It's funny because it's like, I think we've all talked about how I think the West has been the better conference over the past couple years. There's good teams over there in the East, but looking at the playoff bracket this year, I was going, okay, whoever wins between Tampa and Florida is going to the Cup Final. And I didn't think there was any way around it. Yeah. Like, kind of what I thought. And that's what a lot of people were saying. I'm not kind of think I'm some genius for saying that.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. Long live Calgary. July 5th, live in the venue. All horses are fast. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Joaquin.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin. 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 146. Welcome back to EST Afternoons on Elks Game Day. Feels good to say that, Joaquin. Feels great. Hey, hits that thumbs up. Texas River Korean Box. We got one winner for the Elks tickets. We need more people. Come on. Let's go support the boys. Which receiver on the Elks this year played for the Owls last year? All you got to do is send his name in and you got 2 tickets. 2 tickets. Let's go. Oh, and we're giving away 2 more sets of Stingers tickets today in the second hour. Yeah,
Nice.
we got a lot of giveaways. Lots of giveaways.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
That's a great song. Great song.
Who sings it?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes, they do.
Yes. Ooh. Back to the Future. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Wonder if he's listening. All right, let's get to your favorite segment of the week. It's the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. Take it away.
Well, with the winning of the Stanley Cup by the Florida Panthers, and the Rat King, Matthew Tkachuk, talking about dynasty. We are a dynasty. I've never heard someone refer to themselves as a dynasty. That's new to me.
You're not a dynasty.
We're a dynasty. But I was going. I wanted to see. It made me think of some of the top players in the league right now, and I wanted to ask you guys. So I'm going to go through a list of NHL players.
Okay.
Over the past 25 years, probably around there, that you consider to be Hall of Famers or not. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, and some I think are pretty obvious, are going straight in, and others that might take time or not at all. Okay. So we're going to start real easy. I think this one's a slam dunk. Sidney Crosby. Does he go straight in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Hey?
Oh, he's a
layup.
He's a layup, man. One of the best to ever do it.
Now, they get a little bit easier, but I still think he's Patrick Kane.
Yes.
Goes straight in.
100%.
Greatest American-born player of all time?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Carey Price.
Oh, good one. I would have to say no.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Coob? You think Carey Price is a Hall of Famer?
Well, given that the top scorer on his team always had less than 70 points in a season, and that he put up such fantastic numbers in the regular season, just a fantastic goaltender. Like, comparing it to other Hall of Fame goalies, he's equal, if not better, in those statistical categories for a goaltender. So I believe he makes it, but first ballot, maybe not.
Hart and Vezina, same season, right?
Yeah, I was just going to get to that.
Ted and
Lindsay.
Yeah. And he, there's a lot of success on the world stage. It's not just the NHL Hall of Fame.
No,
right?
that's fair. He won, of course, played World Juniors. Career-wise, 712 games, 2.51 goals against, 917. Okay, I might step it back a bit. Yeah, I don't. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
because he won all those awards in 1 year, right? It's not like he won it multiple times.
No. Yeah.
No cup, which doesn't really matter when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Matt Sundin was the first ballot, and that was ridiculous. So you know what? I hate to do this, but I might have to change my answer. Yeah, and I think a lot of the international stuff helps.
The international stuff helps.
Yeah.
I think that puts him in, right? I mean, he went to a cup final he carried a team to the cup final, but, okay. The next one I have is, I think this is pretty easy, but Victor Hedman.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's multiple Stanley Cup winner, a true number one defenseman, reliable, played, he doesn't miss a lot of time. One of the best to do it of his generation. I think he's a walk-in with Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I think so too. This one, I think it's still pretty easy. Jonathan Toews.
Oh yeah.
Straight in.
He's like
cups,
not as
Conn Smythe, Olympic golds.
He's
leader.
Like
yeah.
They'll probably go in together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know. Zdeno Chara.
Ooh.
Stanley Cup in 11.
Yeah.
Norris Trophy 2009 was a force for years.
The longevity, man.
The captain of the Bruins, longest serving captain of the Bruins.
200 playoff games, 1680 regular season games. Stanley Cup champ. I think he is.
Yeah. I think he's in too.
Yeah. I'd almost go as far as he's also a walk-in for me.
Walk-in?
Yeah.
Okay. This one, I'm pretty sure he gets in, but Anze Kopitar.
Yeah. He's
best Slovenian player ever. 2 Stanley Cups, 2 Selkies.
Yeah. How old is he now?
37 or something.
And he's still one of the best players on the LA Kings.
Yeah.
I'll say this, probably not. Well, you know what bothers me, Joaquin, is that Matt Sundin, who was a hell of a player, he was a first ballot, but he never won squat.
No.
So that's why when
But it was just because of the league at that time, like he was surrounded by other greats, right?
Sure.
He was great too.
But are you telling me Anze Kopitar does not deserve to be a first ballot when he's accomplished way more than Matt Sundin ever did?
Yeah. Like, if you compare the two, it's a no-brainer that Anze walks in.
He should walk in as a first ballot. If Matt Sundin did,
it's because Toronto. Okay. This one, I'm pretty sure he goes in too, but it's still on the edge. I don't know if he waltzes in. This might take a while, but Steven Stamkos.
I think he is.
Yeah.
He might not be a first ballot.
2 cups, 2 Rocket Richards.
Yeah, no, he's first ballot. Again, like I'm going to compare him to guys like, and sorry, I can only think of Sundin right now. Send in more if there's similar to Sundin who got a first ballot, and a lot of people disagreed with it. No one disagrees he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
We disagree that he's a first ballot. But Steven Stamkos has done it all, man.
Yeah. This guy, I don't think he's getting, never mind. That one's stupid. This one,
Trent Frederic?
I'm going to, so this one is kind of looking into the crystal ball. Okay.
Okay.
So rising star in the league, will he get there? Connor Bedard.
Ooh.
Do you think he will be a Hall of Famer?
I think the kid's in a tough spot. He's on a really poor team. He is. He's got another new coach this year. The roster's not very good. I think this kid is an all-world talent. I don't put him up with the McDavids and the Crosbys.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a step lower than that, which is still elite of the elite. I think eventually they'll figure it out in Chicago. He's going to be a hell of a player. Right now, I'll say yes. I just don't know like how many times he has to go through it to get in.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a fantastic hockey player.
Okay.
That's a hard one, though.
That's a hard one, though. What about Ryan Getzlaf?
Getsy, eh? God, he was a pain in the ass to play against. I never played against him, but I watched.
I was hoping Perry would pull him out of retirement when he first came.
So he has the 1 cup. Longevity, he crushes that. 125 playoff games, 1157 regular season, 2 World Junior Championship appearances, 1 gold, no Conn Smythe, no awards. Holy Gage, this is great. I'm enjoying this. I think he does get in, but I think it takes him a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I don't think he doesn't walk in.
No, God, no. I don't want to keep going to the same comparison, but they're very similar.
So, that's similar. Let's go on a different position then, but same type thing. Erik Karlsson. Do you think he goes in?
Great one, man. Oh, man.
Because, dominating force for a lot of years. On the back end of his career. Hasn't won. Has won Norris's. Is a gold medal, I believe. Right?
Mm-hmm. You said 3 Norris trophies. I think that alone gets him in. Seriously. Like, he's only played 67 playoff games. He's over 1,000 regular season games. He scored 101 points one season for a defenseman in this day and age. Is
crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the cups, but I think the 3 Norris trophies gets him in as well.
Okay, so this one is good because I think the comparables are quite similar right now for you. This will be hard.
Okay.
All right. At the end of it all, does Pajama John Tavares go into the Hall of Fame?
And
does he get the Toronto push?
I'm taking away my dislike of the Toronto Maple Leafs, but if I'm being 100% honest, I don't think he gets it.
No.
I
don't.
At that point, then let everybody in. Like that's had longevity, that's had, he's had a really good career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's great.
Yeah.
He played more international when he was younger, right? I'd say no to John Tavares. But he is a Toronto guy, so.
I have a few more, I think, on the cusp. I got a few more for you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll start with homegrown here. Does Corey Perry get into the Hall of Fame?
Jeez.
That's an easy one, though, I think.
You think it's easy?
Hart Trophy, Stanley Cup winner, breaking records in the playoffs.
In his 40s?
Over 40 years of age.
He's played
score 15.
Maurice Rocket Richard.
Yeah, he's breaking those types of records.
He's played in 5-6 finals?
Nearly 100 points one season.
Yeah.
The longevity's there. Great
tons
leader.
of playoff games. Tons of. I'd say I agree with Coop. He gets in, but not first ballot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last one for you.
Reed Wilkins says Tavares no gets left. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do two more. Let's do this. Just retired, Logan Couture.
No.
Long time with the same organization. Pretty good player.
But again, longevity, really good, but no awards, no cups, no international play.
Yeah.
A good NHL career, 701 points in 933 games, played 116 playoff games, stuck it all with one team, which is awesome. But it's if for example, if Tavares is not getting in and if for Reed Getzlaf, I don't see how Logan Couture gets in.
This one it's interesting. Does Roman Josi get into the Hall of Fame? Greatest Swiss player of all time?
These are really hard, Gager. So 3 World Junior Championships. Obviously didn't win because he was playing with Switzerland. Norris Trophy, 1920. 724 points in 962 games. Has 91 playoff games, 45 points. Oh, Roman Josi, this one's tough.
Does he get the push because he's Euro? He doesn't go straight in. I don't think he goes straight in, but I think there's a chance that
96 points 4 years ago.
Yeah,
85 2 years ago. Played in 1 Stanley Cup Final. This one's tough, man. Right now, I'm gonna have to lean to no.
He needs a cup.
He needs something.
Those good looks alone don't get you into the Hall of Fame.
Josie is a maybe, not first ballot, but there's a chance. I got time for him from Danny T. James says Josie maybe. That's the thing. Big Uke says I don't think Josie does, but he's one of the best to play in Nashville in their Hall of Fame. Sure, he's one of the best players ever in Nashville.
Yeah.
I think right now I'd have to say no.
Okay, this is my last one. I promise. Okay, this is the last one. It's a duel.
Okay,
Russians. Who goes in first? Andrei Vasilevsky or Sergei Bobrovsky?
I'd have to go Bob. Because Bob's probably he's gonna hang him up quicker than Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky's still.
He's got one more year in his deal, right? Yeah. I think Bob tries to go out 3-time Stanley Cup champion.
Sure.
Fade into the sunset.
I think both go in, but just because Bob's age and he's probably going to retire before Vasilevsky, he's going to go in before. But I think both guys are a lock.
Both guys are going in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Hernan. I was wondering about that today on the dog walk, so that's what I came up with.
No, that was great, man. I really enjoyed that. We should throw more names out there from time to time. That's great. I thought people enjoyed that too.
Sweet.
Because it's everybody has their
Opinions,
bias
yeah.
and their opinion on certain players.
The biggest thing about the Hall of Fame is you don't just go on your NHL career, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
It's everything.
It's everything. There's guys in the NHL or the Hall of Fame that never played a game in the NHL, right? So it's the Hockey Hall of Fame.
See, because Reed Wilkins says no to Getzlaf. I think he does get in because he's very similar to Matt Sundin's numbers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he has a cup.
Yeah.
So that's why it's a great discussion. I love that. That was really good. And there's a lot of names that people like Mogilny, Andy Moog. Yeah, those guys deserve to be
But I
in.
just went with current players.
Yeah.
I didn't go with people that we've been complaining about for
that
a
have
long
been
time.
slighted.
Yeah.
Hey, portions of this hour are brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Make your birthday legendary at the CBH. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can be. Plus, get free nachos with our app. Book your party now. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. If you want tickets to the Elks game, let us know. The former Alouette receiver that's playing on the Elks right now. That's text that in to the River Korean box 780-218-9999. Keep slamming that thumbs up. In hour 2, more Oilers, more Elks, and Sean Campbell, the radio voice of the Montreal Alouettes, joins us at 2:20. We're back after the break here on EST Afternoons.
The Lock Shop.
Let's just for a moment envision the scenario where he's like, you know what, after next year, I think I'm going to go elsewhere. Does anyone think that he's going to be going to the Toronto Maple Leafs? Like, and I'm not accusing him of being a ring chaser or anything. I mean, I think he'll try to go to a good team that he feels like he has a chance to win. But I would go so far as to say the last place in the world that he'd want to go in is in Toronto.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Get ready for the ultimate showdown, June 20th and 21st at Red Torque Raceway's Western Cup. Catch the Alberta Modifieds late models and other high-powered machines on the oval in a spectacular display of speed, skill, and sideways racing action. The Western Cup, a true celebration of dirt track racing at its finest for all ages. June 20th and 21st at Red Torque Raceway, just off Highway 2 and Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport. Tickets and info at radraceway.com.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Edmonton's Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and company spoke for the last time this season, with McDavid saying that he's in no rush to get a deal done in Edmonton just yet, while mentioning that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was suffering from a broken hand throughout the Stanley Cup Final. In the CFL, the Elks and Alouettes kick off for the Elks' home opener. Matthew Iwanyk and Jay Milne tee up the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show, starting at 6 right here on EST. In Game 6 of the NBA Finals goes as OKC looks to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy on the road in Indiana, with tip-off at 6:30. And the Stingers are in action as well in Calgary to face the Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams. Action starts at 7:30. For the Jays, they're down 4-1 against the Diamondbacks in the top of the fourth. Kevin Gausman pitching for the Jays, and 5 other games are live, with the Brewers up 8-3 on the Cubs in the 6th inning. And from Edmonton, the Riverhawks and Bells go at it just after 7. Hawks winning 6-4 last night. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Okay, it's hour 2 here on EST Afternoons. How you doing out there? It's a little rainy. Elks play tonight at Commonwealth Stadium. Look forward to seeing everybody down there. Tailgate's going to be good. Go check them out. Our boys will be down there, Joaquin, Benny Goods, and YouTube Trev with a new mustache.
I know, that's heavy duty.
Heavy duty. So go say hi to the boys. It's going to be a fun night. Of course, hit us up on the River Korean Box, 780-218-9999 on the Nasty Chat and slam that thumbs up for us, please and thank you. And if you're listening on the audio stream, of course, you're on iHeart or TuneIn or EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just slide on over and slam that thumbs up for us. Sean Campbell, the voice of the Montreal Alouettes at 2:20 coming up. We'll have a good conversation with him as well. I want to clear some stuff up because people are saying like, oh, you're blaming management already. Like, listen, can Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson still do good work? Of course they can.
They have to.
All I said was they're starting off bad with this deal. That's it. And that's the reality. And that's the truth. And we're going to talk about it. Okay? Doesn't mean they can't go out there and surprise us and make a great move or offer sheet someone. We're not saying that. I'm just saying they started off with what's being reported. An 8-year deal for Frederic. For me, this is just me. I'm not speaking for Joaquin. I think it's a bad start for them.
Yeah, I'm just emotional. I jumped the gun. Most of my decisions aren't that great, but it looks bad.
Yeah, it's a bad
look. It looks
look.
bad. Hey, I thought that the guys that they signed were great, and all I did the rest of the regular season was complain about them till playoffs, really. And then I loved them all of a sudden, and now I'm complaining about them again. I'm a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, and we all loved their moves last July 1st.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, we all did.
We were like, wow. Hello, Lord Stanley. And
Jeff Jackson was cooking.
Oh, man. We were saying give him the executive award
you
already.
Need a GM.
Yeah. I thought if we would have done the thing that I just did with the Hockey Hall of Fame, he would have gone in as a builder the next week after those moves he made.
Yeah. And the reason we're going with the 8 years because guys like Saravalli have it. And those guys don't put out stuff like that if they're not, those guys are dialed in. They're rarely wrong. So, again, this is all being reported. Nothing's been official. Trent Frederic spoke today. He said, yeah, they're working on a deal. He didn't want to elaborate. He said he was really hurt during the playoffs. I'm sorry. I stand by everything I said. Then why play if you can't? Because he wasn't good in the playoffs. Can he be good next year? Sure. But there's no need to give him an 8-year deal. And I think it's a bad start for the Oilers management. Can they turn it around? Of course they can. Of course. But it's a bad start. Like Gager said, it's a bad look to start this way, to give a third-line guy an 8-year deal.
There's no need.
And we're hoping there's no anchor beside him on Puckpedia. Because if that happens, look out! Connor McDavid today. Winning is the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win over here over and over again, then signing is no problem. I'm not in a rush to make any decision. I don't think that there needs to be any timeline. Joaquin, if he feels winning is the most important thing, well, I mean, Edmonton's just as good a choice as Florida right now.
Yeah, okay. We're going to dissect every word that Connor McDavid says, first of all right?
Yes.
It's inevitable. But, so this wound is massive, fresh, and has not had time to heal yet. Like, I guarantee, and I mean, he won't, but after that game, you're going to question everything. How did this happen? What went on? Like after just normal games, and this wasn't until I got a little bit older. Like I wanted to, if my team played bad, and I was in more of a leadership role at that point, right?
Yeah.
Just older. I wanted to yell at guys. I wanted to go in and talk to the coach. I wanted to right the ship.
Sure.
And then I'd go home and I go, okay, tomorrow I'm going in, and I'd wake up the next day and I go, what are you doing, you moron? Like just you can go in there, you can have a civil conversation or so. I think what Connor's saying, he's still really emotional from the loss.
100%.
And this loss hurts more than last year because they got manhandled. If you were to reverse the years, right, and they came back and lost in 7 like this, I think the tone from McDavid would be completely different just because, to me, the way they spoke last year was we were so close.
Yeah.
This year is like we got spanked. And So that's where his mindset is. What do we need to do to become a team that can beat the caliber of the Florida Panthers, right? That's how he's thinking. And it's only natural that he's trying to process, is this the best place? I think eventually, and this again, I said it on Two Guys, it will depend on management and what changes with them. And if he thinks that Edmonton is not the right place for him to win a championship, he'll move.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to read too. Like you said, it's very emotional at this time.
But I think when the healing time kicks in,
the dust settles,
and everything, he'll realize that Edmonton is probably the best place for him to win a championship.
Yeah. He also added, "We're holding this together, trying to get it over the finish line. With that being said, ultimately, still need to do what's best for me and my family, and that's who you have to take care of first."
So leave him alone when he goes and gets beers, or help him get him to the car. Don't start taking selfies with him.
Just leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
And he also added, "I would say last year was heartbreak. Like you're sad.
Yeah.
I'd say this year's more angry than heartbreak," which makes sense.
Yeah.
So listen, every great player we've heard, I got to talk to my family, my agent, and there's no rush. Like I know some of his words today got people going, and the media doesn't help because national media is like, "Oh, interesting. Oh, this. Oh, that." Like it's the first time I've ever heard a superstar talk after losing in the Stanley Cup Finals as contracts coming up in a year. That's what makes me laugh, but I don't think he's going anywhere. I just don't, Gage. Or maybe I'm delusional, but I just don't. His best chance to win is here. The Oilers can offer him money that a lot of teams probably can't. Right? Like, sure, I don't even know why we're talking about this, but I just don't think he's moving, Joaquin.
I know. You also thought they were going to win, but...
I don't know. I got to see this.
Yeah. Danny T. I think, Danny T. Connor just waiting to see what management does. I don't blame him. Keeps him in check. Yeah, those shots across the bow, if you want to look at it that way, are to management to, you know what? We were able to get back. It was a struggle to get back to the finals this year. That was a roller coaster of a regular season. I think again. I'd like to see them, and this is looking way into I'd like to see them just have a consistent regular season.
Just not be good. Just be good. Don't go into these 2-month lulls where we're all freaking out and
there's no reason for that. Consistent. Like what was the thing that they talked about most about the Florida Panthers?
They're consistent.
They're a consistent team.
No, would they lose 2-3 games in a row? Maybe once or twice.
That's it.
But that's it. Like, so I'll bring this up. I think Connor McDavid, and I'm assuming here because I don't know him and I haven't spoken to him, but I think it matters to him too how the team is built because these guys are 30. They got years left, sure, but they're not 25 anymore. They're not 20. So I think I think a big thing for Connor McDavid, and again, I'm not saying he's leaving, but I think one of the big things he's considering, he's looking at the way this roster is going to be constructed because Connor McDavid and no professional player, there might be the rare one or two, will never come out and give his true feelings on where he thinks they need to upgrade, which position he'd like to see, maybe a change in there. He's never going to come out and say, we need a better goalie. I don't even know if he believes that. He might love Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard and think they can get it done. But I think to him, it matters a lot, especially at this point in his career and with such a big decision coming. I want to see what Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson are going to do with this roster. Seriously, Joaquin.
Yeah. No. I think. Do you think that, and this is a weird question, I guess, but do you think that Connor McDavid, like we say, wants to see what's done with the roster? Does he just want to play with Leon? Like, does he want to go out every shift and just play with Leon Draisaitl?
I don't think he does because he's played a lot with Hyman and Nugent loves those guys. I think we all realize it, and I'm sure they do too, Joaquin. We need two guys that are regulars with Leon Draisaitl that can play, that can score. Because Paul Colden was a regular, but he can't produce, right? And it's not a shot at Paul Colden. He's just not that player. Arvidsson didn't work out. So I think Connor looks at it too, saying, okay, you're always putting, I love playing with Draisaitl, but that's our only move, right? That's our only move, me and Draisaitl, and then we don't get much else. So I think he takes that into consideration as well, saying, okay, fine, if you're going to play Draisaitl tonight, we better have two good lines coming behind us because right now they don't, and they haven't.
Do you think Stan Bowen's talking to Jonathan Toews?
No, because I'll be honest, I don't think this team needs a Jonathan Toews. I think this team needs the biggest thing for me.
26-year-old Jonathan Toews.
They need two guys that can play with Leon Draisaitl that are legit top six forwards. We thought the Oilers got him with Skinner and Arvidsson, and that didn't work out.
Well, you were looking down the middle. It looked strong, right? You had Connor, Leon, Nuge, Henrique, Janmark. Those are, obviously the talent goes down, but it's pretty strong down the middle, and I think that is a recipe for success. I don't know.
And that's why I think there's pressure on Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson this year, because I think Connor's going to look at like what they're doing and be like, "Are you serious? This is all we're doing?" Do you know what I mean? I think it's huge, guys. And again, I'll reiterate, I don't think he's leaving, but I think a lot of the way this roster is constructed for the next year, 2 and 3 is going to be huge for Connor McDavid.
Well, yeah. That will depend on the length of his deal now. I think that the construction of what they are able to accomplish or not accomplish over the summer will dictate the amount of years Connor adds to his contract.
Yeah, I agree.
If he sees it, okay, I'll give it a shot, but that's his right too. Like, he's given it everything.
100%.
So I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. If he sees no effort and change to the roster, because you can't run it back again. You can't. You did it once, and look, you got close again. I'll say that, but you saw the deficiencies and what you're going to need to be able to beat that could possibly that Florida Panthers team in a 7-game series again. All right.
Yeah. But not just like Joaquin, like you said, it's his right. It's not Connor McDavid's fault that they given out 9 no movement clauses. It's not Connor McDavid's fault that they have no money. And Connor McDavid looks at Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson goes, "Not my problem."
Yeah.
Like, you guys find a way.
You knew my contract was coming up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you knew Bush was coming up.
Yeah.
And you knew you might need a goaltender, right? And like, it's like Gager said in the first segment, the only players that should get no movements are your elite players. But the Oilers, unfortunately, have bottom 6 guys that you can't move. And you can't move money. And you can't improve your team. That's why I'm intrigued by what they're going to do this year. And Stan Bowman came in. It's not like he's a genius GM. It's not like he did wonders in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of trepidation there when he was signed because he's not, his track record's not great. So it's going to be interesting. I think for Connor McDavid, the roster construction that he's going to see here starting this year into the second and third year are huge for him, are enormous for him. It could be wrong. What say you, Nasties? Let us know. Hey, the Afternoon Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the Lightfoot Band on July 4th. And the next day, you can check out Ian Munsick. All you have to do for tickets is go to rivercreeresort.com or hit up the River Cree box office. We talk with Sean Campbell from TSN 690 next here on Edmonton Sports Talk to preview the Montreal Alouettes as they're in town to take on the Elks tonight. We're back after the break here. Slam that thumbs up. And here's our boy Coop. Sports Update.
The Oilers held their exit meetings today. Leon Draisaitl, Trent Frederic, Evan Bouchard, Corey Perry, and Connor McDavid taking the stand. McDavid said that he's in no rush to get a deal done just yet with the Oilers, while adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was battling a broken hand throughout the Stanley Cup Final. Staying in Edmonton, the Elks have their home opener against the Alouettes. Matt Iwanyk and Jay Milne preview the action during the Green and Gold kickoff show, which goes live at 6 right here on EST. Meanwhile, the Thunder can win the Larry O'Brien Trophy tonight with a win in Game 6 on the road against the Pacers. Tip-off goes at 6:30. From Calgary, the Stingers challenge the 7-2 Surge. Listen to the entire game on any of EST's audio streams. Action starts at 7:30. In baseball, the Jays trail the Diamondbacks in their series closer 6-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Kevin Gausman pitching for the Jays with 1 out and a runner on first base. Back in E-Town, the Riverhawks and Bells have their series closer. Hawks winning 6-4 yesterday. First pitch is scheduled just after 7. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. We preview the Elks and Alouettes matchup with Sean Campbell, the Alouettes radio play-by-play from TSN 690, next on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
The guy's leg talent is unbelievable.
What is leg talent?
He can kick it a mile.
Then why didn't he just say leg strength? Because to me, leg talent also implies accuracy. Why didn't he just say leg strength?
Well, maybe.
Or is that the coach's term now? He's got a lot of leg talent. I think I heard that at Pinky's back in the day. Here she is, everybody. She's got a lot of leg talent.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
It's 2:25. Welcome back to EST Afternoons on Elks Game Day. 7 o'clock kickoff down at Commonwealth Stadium as they host the Montreal Alouettes. And to talk all thing Alouettes, we're joined by Sean Campbell, the radio voice for the Owls from TSN 690. Sean, how you doing?
Good, yourself? Game day, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I wish we had a better day for you, but hopefully this rain goes away by the time kickoff rolls around. Let's get to it, Sean. This Owls team's looking really good through 2 weeks. Davis Alexander looks like an absolute stud. But what can you tell Elks, Edmonton fans and listeners here on our show? What you liked about the Alouettes in their first 2 games?
What I've liked is the fact that they've been able to perform all three facets: offense, defense, special teams. They've all been on point. They look like they're cruising and are already in midseason form. I know people are going to wave the flag and say they haven't faced a starting quarterback yet.
Yeah,
because Chad Kelly was out and Drew Brown was out. But you face what's in front of you, right? Like you go after what's in front of you. And I'll tell you, watching those games, I know how good Chad Kelly is. I know the yardage that Drew Brown could put up. I think it still would have been the same result.
Sean, with coming into Edmonton now, we've only been able to watch this new look Elks team once. Trey Ford's not the greatest performance, but there is that factor, that X factor of him scrambling. Is that cause a concern for the Alouettes defense, or are they quite confident that they can take advantage of a younger quarterback kind of finally getting his feet firmly set in as a starting quarterback in the CFL?
Yeah, well, confidence isn't going to be a problem for the Alouettes defense. They are chock full of confidence. So whoever's on the other side, they're still confident, be it, Nick Arbuckle, Chad Kelly, Drew Brown, Trey Ford, Cody Fajardo, like whoever you want to go down that path, they'll be confident. I think it kind of adds a little bit of a wrinkle, right? And what Trey Ford, yes, he can scramble for yards. The Alouettes will be very aware of that. They know who Trey Ford is. I think the biggest issue is if he's able to scramble and buy his receivers time. I think that is the biggest thing that he'll have to do, because even if he wants to go quickly, the Alouettes, they read the play very well. They're so tight on coverage. Their secondary is experienced. They're going to know exactly what Trey Ford wants to do. But if he's able to buy time and get away from the defensive line, or, the guys are going to be able to pick up the blitz and give him an extra second or two for his receivers to go down, that's the recipe for Trey Ford, I think. Yes, he scrambles well, but a scrambling quarterback is usually a panicking quarterback. And I know that there's designed runs for Trey Ford, but at the same time, I still think the Elks want him to be in that pocket throwing the ball. And he's going to have to use his legs to buy time for his receivers, not his legs just to get first downs.
Alouettes play-by-play voice on TSN 690 radio. Sean Campbell joins us here on EST Afternoon. Sean, Travis Tice has looked really good. He will not play tonight as he lands on the one-game injured list. Can you just talk about what he's brought to this Alouettes team and what you would expect from a kind of like a CFL vet in Sean Thomas Erlington?
Yeah, so the run game has been really impressive. And where it's been impressive is in the first and fourth quarter. They're able to establish the run, which lets them throw the ball downfield in the second and third, and then they're able to close out football games. A lot of the runs for Travis Tice was when the game was out of hand against the Red Blacks. The Red Blacks knew the Alouettes were running. The Alouettes knew they were running. They put the extra fullbacks in, and they just ran the ball and killed the clock. That's where Travis Tice got his yardage. New player, I didn't know much about him in the preseason. He was returning punts, and if you look at him, I worked with Marco Bruyette. He calls him built like a bowling ball. I kind of have him built like a tuna can. Like he just kind of. He's very hard to come down. He's very physical. He wants to have contact, and he's been very impressive. However, Danny Machocha and Jason Moss said when they let go Walter Fletcher, they wanted to use all three of their running backs. And that means Sean Thomas Erlington, the Canadian, and Travis Tice and Stevie Scott. And Stevie Scott will get his first start this season. He did get a game in last year. Watch out for this guy. This guy he's more of a Will Stanback type. He's bigger. He's 6'2", 6'3", 220 pounds. He will be tough to bring down as well. And he has been very impressive every time he's been able to dress up for the Alouettes. He's been a part of the organization for a couple of years now, and they like him. So I think that they knew that they were going to be alternating between Tice and Scott throughout the season, with Thomas Erlington taking the bulk of the load.
Sean, we spoke with Davis Alexander last year when he inked his new deal. Obviously looking really good off these first two games. What can you tell us about his what has his trajectory been to? And it looks like he's really establishing himself as one of the best quarterbacks in the CFL. Yeah, and the Alouettes have liked him from the get-go. Yeah. Just a couple of years ago, chatting with Danny Machocha, we're talking about, you have Cody Fajardo, you have this. He's like, we have Davis Alexander. We really like him. And
Yeah, you guys have been following the CFL for a long time, and I've been covering this team since 2007. And I've always believed American quarterbacks coming into the league, a lot of people believe these guys coming out of college can just jump in and be a quarterback in the CFL. It's almost impossible to do.
Mm-hmm.
You need 1, 2, and I say 3, almost 3 years of sitting and observing and absorbing all the information and all the little things about the CFL. And then you need to play. You can't just sit and not play. And last year was the perfect opportunity when Cody Fajardo went down, that Caleb Evans got hurt. It was Davis Alexander. There was no other options. Hey, you've been around 3 years. Let's go. Let's see what you have. And then he won. And then the Alouettes knew what they had. And then they had a little bit of proof that he can go out there and win. So they had that big opportunity, the big question to tackle in the offseason. Do they have 2 high-paid quarterbacks, and do they try and make this work? You can't make that work in the CFL. So they just made the hard decision, and they had to trade away Cody Fajardo, and they had to bring in and make the choice for Davis Alexander to get that starting. But I think that sitting around, he's worked with Vernon Adams Jr., he's worked with Trevor Harris, he's worked with Cody Fajardo, and now it's his time to shine. I think he's just ready. I think the Alouettes knew it, and they've handed it over to him.
Yeah, no, he's been awesome, and like Joaquin said, when we had him on, he was great.
Yeah.
Just great personality. Seems like a really good guy. So good for him. It's going to be exciting to watch him tonight down at Commonwealth Stadium. Last one for you here, Sean. Jason Moss. Really coming into his own. We had him here in Edmonton. He was a little fiery, showed a lot of the passion on the sidelines, and his teams kind of were the same way. It seems like down in Montreal, he's really coming into his own. He's a hell of a coach. I mean, he's got a hell of an offense, probably one of the best receiving corps, if not in the CFL. But can you just talk about the evolution of Jason Moss since day one in Montreal to now?
I think, you call him a little fiery. I think he's a lot fiery. But
I'll be nice. Yeah.
but what I'll say is he's fiery with experience now.
Yeah.
And I think that the fiery attitude on the sidelines has subdued. So people think, oh, he's grown. I've talked to the players. I've chatted with Jason Moss, and the Alouettes do a great job with their social media videos. He is as fiery ever in that locker room. They're a very competitive group, and I asked the coaching and the players. They have pickleball tournaments all the time. They have their own little court, and it's player versus player. They say the most competitive person in the locker room is Jason Moss. Jason Moss is just pure competition. The Alouettes did a little fun pickleball this winter. It was in February. They invited some members of the media, there's some season ticket holders, and they had like a pickleball tournament. And it was because Jason Moss was in town, and they wanted to do a little event. And I participated. And first time I ever played pickleball, I was just happy to get the ball over the net. And he made the semifinals, and there were some guys that were like professional pickleball players, and he loses in the semis. I've never, he was pure. You couldn't talk to him. He stormed off. And this is he stormed off. He came back, of course he shook their hands. And then as the finals going, he went on to the other court to work on more, a little bit more. He is just a fiery competitor, and it just trickles down to the players. So yeah, I agree with you, but I think that on the sidelines, he's more calculated. I think that he's got a lot more experience, and he keeps that energy high for the team, not for the public anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's great. It's great. Every time he comes back, I know there's a big crowd there for him as well. Sean, thank you for your time. Have a great call tonight. Enjoy the game, and then safe travels back home. And I'm sure we'll have you on once again.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, that's Sean Campbell, the voice of the Owls on TSN 690 Radio. Always fun when we went to Montreal. When they come here, it's a great matchup, and I can't wait. Davis Alexander is the real deal, man.
Forget what game I watched last year with him, and I think it was Dusty on the call, maybe it was before, but he looked great. I could see why they signed him, right? He just commanded the football. It was great. It'll be
he looks like a vet.
Elks have their hands full with him.
I like what Sean said, though. He goes, American quarterbacks that come up here and had great college careers and got moxie and all that. He's right. It takes them 2 to 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to learn.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just step in. Trey, who's played 18 games in 3 years, he's still learning, right?
Mhm.
Like, and he came from U Sport.
Yeah.
And didn't play a lot because of COVID and all that. So that's why sometimes we have to have patience with Trey Ford. So I'm really hoping it's a good game, and I'm really hoping for my buddies down at the Elks that it's a good one, and hopefully a win for the Elks.
Yeah, if they can win their home opener, that goes a long way.
That'd be absolutely fantastic. Like, it seems like every home opener there's something. Last year you had to move the game because of the Oilers, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Right.
This year you got to move. This year the weather stinks. Like, it's always something. So we need some positivity for the green and gold, and I hope they can. Show the fans today that show up, or if you're watching on TV, that they're a different team and that they can win this. So let's hope. Let's be positive. And coming up next, we'll do Inside the Numbers. We'll look at the Elks. We'll look at some numbers and all that fun stuff, and the changes made for both teams, of course, here on EST Afternoon. Should be a fun night down at good old Commonwealth Stadium. Afternoon Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the Kitchen Restaurant Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu. It's 5 p.m. till close. That's our inbox, 780-218-9999. Before we go to break, I gave away all 6 tickets for the Elks, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Now we have 2 sets of tickets to go watch the Stingers on June 22nd. Against the Winnipeg Sea Bears. All right, so 2 pairs. All you have to do is text in to the River Cree inbox. Which team has the number 1 pick in this year's NBA draft? Text that in, and you have the correct answer. I'll be sending you a message for these tickets. All right, that's Edmonton Stingers tickets for June 22nd against the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Who has the number 1 draft pick this year in the NBA draft? Which team? Let us know. River Cree inbox. We're back after the break here on EST Afternoons.
Connor McDavid and company spoke during the Oilers' exit meetings today. McDavid said he's in no rush to sign an extension in Edmonton just yet, adding that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was fighting through a broken hand during the Stanley Cup Final. From Commonwealth, the Elks go head-to-head against the Alouettes for their home opener. Tune into the Green and Gold kickoff show as Matt Iwanyk and Jay Milne tee up the action. Coverage starts at 6 right here on EST. And on the road, the Thunder and Pacers clash in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. OKC with his first chance to win the NBA championship. Game starts at 6:30. For the Stingers, they meet the Surge down in Calgary. Tip-off is at 7:30. EST's audio streams carrying the entire game. MLB action has 10 games live. Jays are down 6 runs through 5 innings played against the D-backs. Paxton Schultz replacing Kevin Gausman on the mound for Toronto. Meanwhile, the Riverhawks host the Bellingham Bells. Edmonton picking up a 6-4 win last night. Their series closer starts just after 7. The final segment of EST Afternoons brings us back after brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
River Cree Resort and Casino proudly presents Ian Munsick. July 5th, live in the venue. Country fans, you don't want to miss an evening with Ian Munsick, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun. Tickets on sale now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Final segment here on EST Afternoons. Reminder, Reed Wilkins and Jay Mellon will come to your airwaves and your view from 3 to 6. And then Matthew Iwanyk, Jay Mellon, 6 o'clock. It's weird to say a pre- and post-game show, and I'm not doing it.
Do you feel like you're in the 4x100? You're the third leg and handing that baton off?
Yes, it's great. I love it. Matt and Jay Green and Gold kickoff show set you up for Elks and the good old Montreal Alouettes.
I might have to come in and watch a game with those guys. That would be fun.
Oh, it'd be great. Matt Duchene re-ups with the Stars, 4 years, 4.5 AAV. I'm a little surprised by that.
How old is he? 80?
He's been around for a while.
He's 34.
Speaking of bad deals, that's a bad deal. That might be worse than Frederic's. Eric Holla traded yesterday from the Devils to the Preds for a prospect and a pick.
Okay.
So we're seeing some movement. And then you had Donato.
No, I don't know what I was
he
doing.
re-signed.
Yeah.
He re-signed as well.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah.
Evander Kane being investigated, or the Oilers are. This is ridiculous.
Come on.
Come on. You never investigated the Vegas Golden Knights when they did it 3 years in a frickin' row?
Wasn't Kucherov was skating on his own for 2 months.
Yeah, it's.
And Tkachuk too.
Yeah.
Matthew Tkachuk played, he didn't play game 82, but did he play the next night? Did he play the first game of the playoffs?
I think he did.
I think he did.
Yeah.
So he couldn't play until playoffs. Why? I mean, I think it's a paperwork submission thing that they omitted or something.
It's ridiculous.
Or you could get really conspiracy theory. This is a way, because there was all those rumors saying that Kane's doctors and the team doctors weren't agreeing on things, and they weren't. So maybe the Oilers are saying Kane did something, and now they can void the contract. That's what I thought.
I saw something today. I don't want to say it just in case it was a
That's
fan.
completely conspiracy theory, what I just said.
Or something that the question is that he didn't require one of the surgeries he needed.
Oh, and just got it? Or
but how do you determine that? How do you know?
Yeah. No.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like the NHL, man. Grow up.
Really? Then I said this. Just fix it then.
Just take it away.
So when playoffs start, doesn't matter what your cap is, but when you hit the ice, you have to be cap compliant. That fixes it. Right?
Yeah, so Rip City Step has it. It was Elliot Friedman. He said the NHL thinks Kane's second surgery was unnecessary. But how do you determine that, man?
Well, as a doctor, you can determine, say it's a pain thing, right?
Yeah.
If it's just, it has some aching or something like that, right? That knee surgery, you don't need it to be repaired. It's not like you're repairing an ACL tear or something. It's just for, I guess, personal benefit in that way. You don't want to be in pain, but you could live with it So it could be something like that, right?
But if the player decides, no, I want to get the surgery, the NHL can't be like, well, you shouldn't. Like, that's not your decision to make.
This is one of the reasons why Buffalo Sabres lost Jack Eichel. When he won, they wanted the Buffalo, and this is a little bit different, but the team wanted him to do a surgery. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to do it a different way. And they said, no, because you'll be out longer. Like it's almost like the team didn't have their best interests at heart. So the league can't say, no, that was unnecessary. You can't have that surgery because, like you said, Coop, if it's making him uncomfortable, and by having that surgery, he'll be comfortable. Come on.
Yeah. Well, how do you tell Evander Kane? Like, Evander Kane knows what he's feeling. He knows what hurts, right? If he's uncomfortable, how can the NHL say it was unnecessary? You don't know that. You're not Evander Kane.
Yeah,
you can't feel, and people have different pain thresholds as well and stuff like that. Like, he was going through a lot in the 2024 Stanley Cup Final for sure. The torn adductors and ab muscles and stuff like that. He underwent those surgeries, and it was a knee scope or whatever kind of knee surgery that he had because he knew he was already going to be out for that time. So I think it was in that sense, like, say he was only undergoing that knee surgery he had. Would he have done that? Right? To be out? You know what I mean? If it was something like that, but to determine it and say like, well, probably, maybe it wasn't necessary. The NHL kind of raising their eyebrow at it a little bit. I don't think it's really fair at all compared to all the other teams that took the same approach, right?
Coop. Was it 2 years ago? The spleen injury that's technically, and if you looked it up and medical people were saying it takes 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Magically, Mark Stone was ready in 2.5 and ready for game 1 of the playoffs. Yeah. And that's not suspect. Get out of town, Gary Bettman in the NHL. Seriously, get out of town. God, I'm angry today. It's not Oilers management pissing me off. It's the NHL.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. And listen, this is not a homer take, Joaquin. Like, Mark Stone and the Vegas Golden Knights have milked this.
Yes.
Milked it.
So have the Tampa Bay Lightning. So have the Florida Panthers. Like, it's becoming that if you don't do it, your chances of winning the cup are diminished.
Yeah, it's
like it.
I don't know, man. Side note: Nuge, I guess, played with a broken hand in the finals. It's tough. It is what it is. Bouchard said he wants to be here, loves this place. Said he feels this game's coming, and
he doesn't have any social media. Huh?
He says he needs to. He says his game's coming, and he knows he has to improve in certain areas, and he's going to continue to do so.
How old is Bouch? Is 25, so
still young.
Still young, man.
He's going to get paid.
He's So he ended up with 14 goals, 53 assists, 67 points this year.
But it's the defensive side where he's sus, right?
Look at you using the young kids' words.
I'm grown up now.
Yeah. Sus, hey?
He's sus, man. He is sus. Okay, let's get to Inside the Numbers for Play Alberta. Hey, you want to get some free money? Deposit 20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. You can do the same for a $50 free sports bet, min 20, using promo code EST Sports. Joaquin Gage.
Yes.
So the Edmonton Elks take on the Alouettes tonight. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They've lost 4 straight to the Alouettes. They've lost 4 straight at home to the Alouettes.
Okay.
Moss is 3-0 versus the Elks.
Revenge.
Going to be tough. But Mark Killam comes in fresh. He's only coached 1 game. I believe. It's weird because the Elks, and last year, the Elks should have won in Montreal. Boris Beatty missed the field goal.
Oh, yeah.
But I think their last win against Montreal was in 2022 when I was with the team. Taylor Cornelius. It was a 32-31 final for the first win of the season. It was exhilarating. It was great. Not much in terms of changes for the lineup for the Edmonton Elks. The only change, Brett Boyko starts at right tackle. He missed last game. Rookie Evans started there. That side struggled, so it's good to have the vet back. Brett Boyko in. That means Morgan out, who was the backup. Let's go through it. Barlow, Brinkman, Serezna, Robbie Smith are your front four. Linebacking core, Niles Morgan, Slick Nick Anderson, and Cordell Jackson. And then your secondary, Devo Bynum, Rugamba, Royce Metier, Kobe Williams, and Tyrell Ford. Offensively, your O-line from left to right, Ivy, Cordy, Beard, McKellar, Boyko. Your receivers, Stephen Dunbar Jr., Curly Gittins Jr., Arkell Smith, Kalen Julian Grant, who is the trivia question for the Elks tickets. He played for the Elks last year.
Yep.
And Zach Mathis rounds out the receiving core. Your fullback is Tanner Green. Your running back starting is Justin Rankin, but Leake's going to get some looks as well. And, of course, Trey Ford is your starting quarterback. Your kicker is Vincent Blanchard. Your punter is Cody Grace. Your long snapper is LBK, Luke Burton Cron. And your kick returner, you're going to see Leak. And you're probably going to see a few others there take some reps like Arkell Smith as well. So that is your lineup for tonight. The Elks are 0-1. The Alouettes are 2-0. Something's got to give tonight, Gager. Just feelings heading into this game for you?
Do
you have any faith that they're going to win? Because it seems like not a lot of people do.
I do for some weird reason.
So do I. Maybe
I've seen the changes, right? There's been so many changes with this team, and there's a very positive vibe. And it was weird because I said, what would be better if they won the first game and had the bye week, or lose the first game and had the bye week? And I think just they're able to. It wasn't a good game in BC. Let's just say it wasn't good.
Let's be honest, yeah.
And I think just a team that's had kind of not unlike the other big team in the city. When they hear good stuff about themselves, they say, "Hey, do we just have to go out there and with our cleats on?" I think a good swift kick in the butt and a coaching staff that's just been assembled to now get preseason's one thing. But you don't really know about your team until the season starts, I think. And for them to be able to kind of, get a good look of what they have and see where they need to shore up things. And you have the Alouettes coming in, they're all fat and sassy. They're feeling really good about themselves. Weather's perfect, football weather, a little wet. Conditions aren't optimal. I think Trey Ford's going to have a night for some weird reason again.
I think he bounces back. He's played so well at home at times, like just great plays. This team has got far too much talent to not turn it around quickly here. Listen, it might be a tough start, but I think eventually they'll turn it around. But I'm hoping for good things. Reminder, Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up from 3 to 6. They got a loaded show for you like they always do. And then at 6, it's the Green and Gold kickoff show with Matthew Iwanyk and Jay Milne. They'll get you set for Elks Alouettes, and they'll be back later tonight for the good old post-game show. So keep it locked on EST. We're all over the Edmonton Elks tonight. I'll be there. Gager will be slinging some glizzies. Probably come see you for a couple. It's going to be fun. Are you going to the game? I'm glad we were able to give away the 6 Elks tickets. I already gave away a set of the singers and need one more. So it's been a fun show. We talked about Frederic. We teed up Elks Alouettes. We talked about the investigation into the Oilers and the Kane LTIR situation. We talked to Sean Campbell from TSN 690, who will have the radio call for the Owls tonight. What else did we talk about? Oh, Hall of Famers. That was a fun segment in Red Light District. That's
actually a couple people said that should be an ongoing segment.
Just pluck players and
maybe different sports.
Yeah. Maybe we can pick 5 players.
Discuss
and break it down. Break it down.
We need some summertime things to do too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. We're gonna be out of things to talk about pretty soon.
Yeah. We're talk about our wardrobe. Obviously, we shop at the same t-shirt place.
We can only talk so much about Bouchard's $11 million contract, right? So it's gonna be a wild summer, guys. Hey, enjoy the game tonight if you're going. If you're watching at home, it's gonna be fun. CFL's great. For Zach Kubish, Joaquin Gage, I'm Hernan Salas saying thank you for listening and watching us. Only 68 thumbs up, which is incredibly disappointing, but we get it. It's slowing down now, so we forgive you for that. But thank you for letting us entertain you, hopefully for 2 hours.
And you know what? Tell your friends about us.
Yeah, tell your friends. Follow us. Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Summertime, baby.
We love you guys. Ciao.